I lived in Keflavik, but I had a summer house, so I planted a lot there. Always been interested in nature since I was in school, but I didn't do anything about it.
So,
yeah.
How old were you when you started planting?
I think when I was around 10 years old, I got interested in the environment. And every time that we have something to do with nature in school, I did drawings and I did the whole book and everything and talked about plants and stuff like that. But that, you get interested in something else when you grow older.
That's true.
Then it comes back to you again later on.
That's very true.
Yeah. So you just have to give yourself time. And we need to think about, I have grandkids, so we have to think about a little bit about the climate too. Not more than a little bit, quite a bit.
Absolutely.
So we need to build the future for them. So we need to start thinking.
So you have a lot of people that work with you? No, it's just you and whoever.
It's mostly me.
Okay.
But there's another that comes once in a while with me. But mostly it's just me.
But do you have any idea how many trees you've planted?
Yeah, because we didn't start, and we only been planting for 3 years.
Okay.
So long. It's like 3,000 trees a year. I took 4,000 this year. So
Wow.
yeah, but not all of them are live.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of them that I planted in June. Then there came 2 weeks coldness in June, in the beginning of June here. Got really and frost, so it was very strange. And then afterwards we have had this drought, hardly any rain. So a lot of them died
Didn't make it.
that I've already planted out. But I'm hoping maybe the root is still okay. I'm hoping.
Know.
Yeah, I know. But I went up to where I put the birch, and I was counting. 1, 2, 3, 1 dead. 1, 2, 3, 1 dead. So I was really happy about that. I thought there would be more, but that was only one section. I haven't gone into the other one.
How do you decide where to put them?
I guess it's kind of up to me where I plant them.
Depends how you feel that day.
Yeah, I'll put that there. But I went all over the place in the beginning, in the first year, and then Þórdís. She said to me, you can't, nej, Þórdís. Þórveig. She said, you can't plant them in so big area. You have to put them more together. So this year I've been putting them more together. The weather was good. It's been good all of a sudden. Very different than we're not used to this. This heat. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we're doing, because I used to have all the trees here in the yard.
Oh.
So this year I said, we need to make space for somewhere else. And one of the guy that's in stjórninni with me, he doesn't plant out, but he likes to, but he has all the equipment.
Okay.
If I have to go up to the mountain, I can't drive ordinary car, so I just get a car from him and I drive up there. If I want him to go and, like he did the circle for us, through the grass, and he mowed everything. He has all the equipment for it. So that's his, instead of planting.
Okay.
So that's fine.
He volunteers.
Yes, in that way. So, and above where he lives, we're doing like for us. He got water from the stream up there, and sometimes it's not very good. It's so ice cold. So, but we have water, and we can give the plants that stand out there water. And it was an old. His grandmother lived there before, and she had sheep and all that, and she had a big place where they put down potatoes.
Okay.
And nobody had planted there for years. So he went and did the whole, with his machinery. And we have there where we put down, keep our trees.
Okay.
It's easy to water.
Sort of a nursery.
Kind of nursery, yeah. And we got aspis from one farm here. And we cut them all down and put them down in the soil there, and they're coming alive. So we're happy, though they're like this, but we're happy.
Hey.
We're just tiny when we cut them down into like a tea. You put the tea down, and there's a little branch that sticks up,
Okay.
and there it grows up.
And do they sprout in a greenhouse or something?
No, just outside here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if
Nothing
they're
in
gonna
green. Yeah, we
be
don't
outside.
have that.
Yeah.
No, we don't have that. So
They're tough trees.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
you just have to water them quite a bit. Just so the girl, they want a lot of water. Asters. So that's one thing that we need to think when we're planting them out. We have to put them where we know there's wetness, not dry. They would die. And then, so they kind of different trees with different soil. So.
Makes sense.
So I got money for buying bigger trees at Solid, at the Kettenskog, to plant up in here in Lupina.
Right. Yeah.
We have so much, it's going all over the place.
This is the plant, the invasive plant?
Yeah.
91, there was a big flood, the rain, and came all the water, made, like it's in the east.
Yeah.
Came over the town.
Oh, a
It's,
mudslide.
From the mountain, a landslide, yeah. And came over the town, it came all the way down here. So, but they were lucky that we don't have any timber houses, like in Ólafsfjörður. So our houses were rock solid, but a lot of cars went rolling and stuff like that, but nobody got hurt or anything. So that was a good thing. But they planted lupina in that,
To find the soil.
up there in the mountain, and it's all over the place now. And Ólafsfjörður hated the most because it's going over their berry areas where they pick the berries. So, not good.
Yeah.
So we're going to try to put aspit because they're bigger, and we have to make them that large so that they're higher than lupina. Or else lupina will just kill it. But it stays up, and later on it will make a shadow so the lupina goes down.
Okay. This is a bit more philosophical, but can you describe like a particular feeling that you get when planting a tree?
When you grow out trees, you go out to nature, it gives you energy because you kind of, I always sit down once in a while because I want to, let's say, get, what do you call it? Energy from the earth. And you can do that here. Here it's so quiet, everything is so clean, and it's so easy to connect. And it's good to just sit down like in a yoga and just, clear your mind and just go in kind of a spirit way and connect with the world. So that gives me quite a bit.
We were just talking on the way here about energetic ley lines, like that the planet, this theory that the planet has energetic sort of channels of moving energy. Is this something you like believe in and can feel?
Yeah, and most Icelandics believe in afterlife, and we believe that people are around us, but they're in different stages. Upon, you go through different stages, and you think about, okay, I want to do this in this lifetime, so you get, and you do that. You try to do that, and though you don't remember after you get born what it is that you wanted to do,
the intention.
But yeah, and then you come again then you go on a higher level and higher level. Upon if you work on that, let's say you have some negativity from last when you were living, you need to change that in your next one. So you're always growing, and you go on these different stages. It's just a theory, but most Icelandic, a lot of them can connect to, when you say their forefathers or their relatives that are gone. A lot of them can do that. But you can do that more if you can connect better with nature.
Yes.
So yeah.
Or if you're in a very clear space.
So yeah, we believe that, and we believe in Huldufólk and Alvar and all that. So, and we believe that there are certain places that you don't touch. You don't, you don't take that rock away if it's huge because somebody lives there, and so on. Yeah.
How do you know what those places are?
Usually, you can see the outer aura around it, and if you are really the one that can see, you can see them. I haven't seen them yet, but I have felt them. So, and I have done that ever since I was a child. But I always put it in an ask that I don't see them. I don't want to see them. You know, it's good to know that they're there, they help you out. You can maybe feel when they touch you and so on, but I don't want to see them in the physical. Like a lot of people, they don't really see them in the physical, but they can connect them. I can do that, but I don't want to kind of, you know, look around. Okay, you are there. No, I don't want to see that. That's not me.
Well, then you would never forget that. Like,
Yeah.
that would be the only reference point you could remember.
Yeah, but some Icelanders do that. They see them. A lot of them can see them, and they can, if you go to them, they can describe them, how they look like,
Really?
and so on. Yeah.
It's
Medium. Medium?
Medium.
Medium,
Yeah.
yes. Medium, so.
Is this something that, like when you are planting, have you encountered any of these kinds of things?
Once up there,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a strange feeling, very strange feeling. It's like, once we were going up, it's, there is a way out here from in the fjord. You go like up, and you go over, and you go to Hljóting. But we were going and picking fjallagras. I don't know what that is in English.
Fjallagras.
Fjallagras.
Mountain grass.
Yeah, you can only pick them after rain. Then you see them, so well, it's good to pick.
Okay.
Fjallagras. Because it's really, really healthy and good for you. So me and my mom and my sister went there to pick fjallagras. And then my sister said, did the lady with the suitcase, did she pass you? And we said, excuse me? There was a lady that, she walked by me and said hi, and she went up there, and I thought she was, but the strange thing, wouldn't put on fjallagras in that suitcase that she had. And so she described it, and my mama said, well, I saw something pass me, but I wasn't looking really. And then again, later on, I read a story from the old days. It was the same lady. So she's always just walking there with her suitcase, in a coat, with a blue bonnet. And she kind of could just go there. I don't know if she died on that heiði, Lágheiði, it's called. But yeah, stories.
Does she look like she's coming or going?
She was, going over. So a lot, like I said, a lot of people see things. You might even see something, but you don't understand what it was. You kind of look around. Okay, there was something there, but you maybe you thought something, that wind or something was moving something, but it's just the reflection. You see it.
Do you think the hidden people appreciate the efforts of
That we're doing to the earth? Yes, they are. Yeah, especially elves. And huldufólk.
Okay.
Yeah, because they move further and further away from people, and we are always damaging the earth, so they need to go further and further. And we say, my sister said, I've never really thought about that. She said, there are what we call, people would call aliens, but people from different stages. They come to Earth and try to clean up after us. And I try to go to different areas and kind of think about the flowers and things that are there, so that it doesn't go away. Up, and they go further up and try to do things. But it's upon to us if we want to keep it there, or if we're gonna completely ruin it and build houses or whatever. Because there are really people that lived here before.
Is there any specific folklore to this town or to this area?
Yes, we do have that. We have Bláklukku. She was a troll lady who lived out here by the end of the water. A lot of people say through the years they've seen her. And she's the one with the blue bonnet.
Okay.
And she used to, Bláklukka was a certain kind of flower. Bláklukka. Blue. And there was a part that nobody should ever mow or do anything to that. Just keep it like that, because there she was. People had never mowed anything or touched that area, because that's hers. There's a different kind of horror stories. That's, people used to live in, there was no light, there was dark inside, so they told each other stories, and then they were walking and you couldn't see anything, and they saw something, and that's how stories start, You say something and the next one adds to it, and so on. But yeah, there's a few. I'm not sure if they're on paper or not. It's about the church out there. There was a person that was. There was always a feud between two farmers, and they were buried in two different area. And the one said, "If you touch my grave, and I'm not completely with no hair or nothing, the church will go on fire."
What?
Yeah. But once they were gonna go in and get, because möl, what do you call möl? Möl, it's like little tiny rocks, They needed that for some building out there, so they started digging. It's way further than the church, way further. And they look down, to the field, and they see the church on fire. So they stopped digging, and they all run down. When they came down to the church, nothing. So they said, we're touching it too early, so we need to wait a few years more. I know. It's the same as it was a story about a ghost that was buried in the churchyard. He was always coming. They dug up a grave, and there was another grave. They were gonna, somebody died. And there was another grave, so they just put soil on top of it. But they cut into the wood, and they put another one on top. And the farmers that lived there, there were always somebody coming and taking their shank, what do you have on top of you, dragging it over the floor at nighttime, mostly for the kids, and noises and all kind of stuff there. And then there was a person that came there, and he was psychic, and he said, this person, he stayed there to check what was going on, because this was really getting really loud, and kids were scared, and he said, there's a person here, she said, you have to dig up the grave again. You have to take the bones and put them in fabric, puts fabric around them, and put it by next to the coffin, not underneath it. So it was done, and heard nothing after that. Not that long time ago, this one, because that was my Langama. No, Amma Petra.
Remember.
She died, when did Petra die? She died maybe 12 years ago? Something like 12, 15 years ago. And this was supposed to happen when she was a child. And she wrote it down, the story. So, she was the one, one of the young children.
Wow.
So,
Exciting life.
it happened to her, she says. So, yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think that Icelandic people are so connected to this?
I think it has to do with both the nature and also because of how people lived before. You were so isolated. So I think because everything is more quiet, there's not so much stress, and I don't know, I think something that just goes through the ages with us or something. I'm not sure about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems like something as you alluded to, that everyone believed. Like, I remember the first person I asked, an Icelandic friend, do you believe in elves?
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, I don't not believe in elves.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about it with an Argentinian friend, and he had a saying, I don't believe in witches, but they exist.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I think also like, northern parts of in Scotland and northern parts of Dublin, they believe in these things too. And I remember when I was in Catholic society, mediums and people came together and, were praying in circles and things like that. And just praying for people that were sick and so. And there was quite a bit of medium that came from England.
And it's really nice to hear these stories. I guess, they're not like directly connected to planting a tree, but,
No.
You're sort of in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking it's interesting to think about the experience existing on multiple levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this tangible tree, this thing, but then you're in a realm of other things you can't see.
It's like I listened to the radio and there's a lady, they're doing some kind of experiment up in Reykjavik. The lady said to her, do you think trees talk to each other? She said, yeah, they do, through their root system. And they're digging into trees to check out something. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, not in Reykjavik, but I know in general it's been studied that the trees communicate through the rooting system, and the mushrooms as well are transmitting information.
Right.
And that's how you can have a part of a forest who is sick from a disease and the rest of the forest is not, because they can get prepared.
Mm-hmm. They're doing this in Hilbert.
Do you have any particularly memorable experiences related to planting?
There's one place, above that I go quite a bit often to, up here in the mountain. That is really a neat place. And it was kind of, I'm always thinking, okay, I'm going to the wrong direction. There's two trees there. You can't see them. They are in Greintree, and planted a long time ago because they're that tall. But if you look up in the mountain, you can't see them. But they're so close to the road, though. Mm. But I go in different directions. Sometimes I can't. I never see them. And other times here you are, and it's kind of like a lundur, nothing around them, but those two trees, beautiful trees, but you can't see them.
Like they disappear and
Yeah. I say to my friend that plants with me, have you found this tree? Those two trees. He said, I can't see anything around here. We walked in that area, but she has never seen it. But I'm sure they are there. You just have to kind of find them.
Maybe only you're lucky enough to see them.
Maybe. But I'm hoping that she will, because I think they are real. They're there. It's just that for some reason they try to keep it hidden. People know that we're there, but they don't know what area completely we have. Some. So we need to put up our signs, sort of life. We haven't done it yet because I was always waiting for money to get to build it. So now we have it, so we need to put it up.
Do you meditate, or is that what being in nature sort of is for you?
I do meditate, yeah. I do that at home too. But there was a guy that lived here that built this house. He's still here. He comes every once in a while. I can smell when he's smoking his cigar. It's really strange. He can, sometimes it comes up, and I kind of look, and I see him walking. And it was funny, and my mom's sister was here visiting, and he's sitting here behind this wall in the chair, and I was sitting over there, and he kind of looks at me once in a while, and then he was always looking at this direction, because I only have seen the old guy here. And then he says, I don't believe in these things, in what things after people here or somewhere. I said, yeah, okay. Why? Because there's somebody here. I've seen him again and again and again. I see something over here. I said, yeah, it's Helgi. He used to live here. And I just say, hey, go in peace. Don't bother me. Then you'll be okay. Then it's okay for you to be here. You need to say that, so they'll just leave you alone.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. I don't think you should be more afraid of living people than dead.
They can't
Because
do
they
much.
are dangerous, not the
Yeah.
not the dead.
That's true. Good advice.
Yeah.
But just seeing the dead is enough to
It kind of
terrify one.
yeah. So you get scared. Yeah.
I'd rather see the hidden people, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah. Or maybe just feel them. Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah. It's fine.
It's a lot also about how open you are to anything to happen.
Exactly.
It's not about wanting to see them, it's more about,
How
being-
open you are to the force or to the energy. Yeah. It's like how connected you are, plugged into the energy force. But it's really calm being in Ólafsfjörður. It's usually when I go to visit my daughter and my mom and my grandchildren. I only stay a few days. Oof, I have not too much stress. People can't really set, just
out of it.
yeah, in the southern part, everything is so. But here you're so close to nature. You just have to walk a few steps. You're out in nature. It's a lot of people here walk, in the mountains, and there are always groups here that walk every weekly during the summer. They were up to different kind of mountains up here. They advertise it if you want to go with them. But I'm not that fast of a walker, so I kind of go slowly because I like to connect more than just go up. So, but people need different things, so it's upon. But nature is here.
You seem like a real protector of the land, in not just of the trees, but in an energetic way.
Mm-hmm. I am. We also go out here up in the valleys and pick mushrooms during this time here. August is a good time. We have cantarella mushrooms.
Oh. Do you think it would be possible to get to see those elusive trees?
We can try.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Sort of a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.